All right. All right, good people. We are live. I believe we are. You know, we always wait a few seconds to make sure it shows available in the stream. And we know it's live, and then we get to it. And yes, it looks like it is live. So welcome, guys, to the Sim Standard podcast. Got a few things to talk about here tonight, man. Starting a little bit late. I apologize for that, guys. I had a league game to play. I thought I would be done by 8 o'clock. But you guys know how it goes, man. When you're in the league, you try to schedule your game, and you lock on the time, and then the opponent still takes another 30 minutes, and y'all know how that is. But anyway, man, we're here, and we probably only got about an hour worth of content, hour and a half anyway, so it's not like, you know, it's that big of a deal. But anyway, welcome, guys. Me and Smitty, y'all know what we do. We're going to talk about a couple things. Basically, Madden 20's gameplay, man. We want to talk about the state of it, you know, how we're feeling about the game so far, and those type of things. And then also, I will let Smitty take the lead on the next topic. We're going to talk about NBA 2K20. Smitty wanted to talk about the progression and regression of that game. And I'll tell you guys a secret, and I'll say this again once we get to that segment. Some of you guys probably won't believe it. I actually don't have 2K20 yet. I plan to get it. I've just been running around a lot, and one thing, and Smitty knows I say this all the time, one thing I'm going to stop doing with games is not just buy games and then sit them to the side. My MLB The Show is actually doing that right now, even though I did play that a good ton. But I want to make sure I carve out enough time to actually play the game. But I'm going to get it. I'm definitely going to get it. I probably will Redbox it this weekend, man. I got some free time tomorrow night, Saturday night, so I'll probably get it then, dive in, see how I like it, and then I'm sure I'll pick it up. But just want to be open and honest with you guys. Smitty's going to have to take that lead. I'm sure the game is good. It felt good with the demo, but I did caution myself from buying it, though, Smitty. I haven't had a chance to talk to you either, but I know a lot of people were kind of concerned about it, you know, with Mike Wang saying that they were going to make changes, et cetera, et cetera. But we'll get into that, guys. But first and foremost, what we'll definitely do, since it's football season, what you want to talk about, Smitty, first, man? I know you want to have something to say about football and maybe your Lions as well. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Lions got a winning record right now with that tie, and they're coming away with the W. So happy about that. Yes.
Who y'all played last week? I forgot. Who y'all had
last week? Chargers.
Y'all beat the Chargers.
Yeah, we beat the Chargers. Yep.
Okay.
They came back from behind. Got a touchdown drive. And then they were driving downfield, though. The Chargers were driving downfield, but Slay came away with a INT, and I think it was in the end zone pick, and that sealed it for us, or close to the end zone, and that helped secure it for us. So we did it. But
okay, Lions, I see.
You know, we won that, but these next two games, you know, I don't know, you know, because we got to beat the Eagles.
Yeesh. What that game, man?
In Philly. It's in Philly. So even though they ain't got, you know, I know they have a decent amount of offensive side of the ball injuries, but still, that's a hard, you know, bargain. And then after that, we got to play. I think we got to play the Chiefs. I chalk that up as an automatic L. So like, I'm not even gonna. I ain't even gonna sit up here in front. You know what? Like, look, I love my team. I love my Lions, you know, but I have to be brutally honest. And even though it's a home game, but still, I look, I don't think they're coming away with that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't think they're coming away with that one. But I think that they can fight. Excuse me. I know, look, and I mean, I can't really give it a big time push because of last year. We beat the Patriots, I but that was Matt Patricia's squad.
We did.
So, you know, yeah, I know, right? That was that man. That was bad. That was rough. That was a rough outing. But this is the other thing too. They got Antonio Brown over there too, and everything. And man, listen, that's a whole nother can of beans. So, look, this year, I was saying to Sim beforehand, this is not the year of the quarterback. Okay? This is the year of dudes going down to injury, folk wanting to leave teams. Man, And this is something that, I don't know if we should touch on it now or wait until a little bit later in the show, but we could talk about it. Well, we could talk about it when we get into the topics and everything.
Yeah, we're about to come right back to it.
We'll get into that there. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of action-packed things, good and bad, that have happened in the NFL in just a few weeks. And it's amazing because I get it. There's only 16. There's only 16 weeks. Technically speaking, you only have 8. You only have 8 weeks to really make a good impact. That's it. Because the other 8, that you pretty much, that's your team. You know what I'm saying? Free agency's over with. I mean, not free agency. Excuse me. The trade deadline passes. No more moves really are going to be made like that or whatever. Okay, that's it. But it's just amazing to see how so much has transpired from the preseason. I mean, certain things happen in preseason, but just this season so far, and it's so early in this regular season, and for so much to be going on, it's very intriguing, and it's amazing to see all this go on because, like I said, you essentially have 7-8 weeks to really be impactful with your team, and that's it. So it's just been buck wild to me, man. But I'll throw it to Sim, man.
Yeah, man, crazy season so far. I'm glad to hear that at least Smitty, his team has a win. My Steelers, man, this gonna be a tough one, and they almost pulled it out, man. They had an opportunity to beat Seattle. You go back and look at the game, and especially when I'm looking at the All-22, it's just a couple moments, man, that they just couldn't pull it home. I know Roethlisberger went out, but listen, man, Mason Rudolph came in there and played some good football. He really did. And the one interception he had was Dante Moncrief's fault. I mean, this dude can't catch a call. I don't understand what's happening with him, but it's going to be interesting, man. The Steelers are doing things that you've never seen them do before, pulling the trigger and trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Wow. Listen, in a million years, I would have never guessed it. I actually would have guessed against it, saying, they're not going to do no first round pick. No way. They don't do that. And, for people that don't know the Steelers' history, Big Art Rooney, like the big one, the owner, that, he's, God rest his soul now, but the original Rooney, he didn't play them games, nor did Dan Rooney. First round picks was a commodity. They did not play those games. And just so you guys know, the Steelers have not gone into the draft without a first round pick since 1967. So to see them do that, okay. It just lets me know, Smitty, that what we're going to do, man, is, try to build the best defense we can to help out Mason Rudolph, and they're not quitting. They're going to see what happens. And I don't have a lot of expectations, man. Even though I think Mason Rudolph will be a decent quarterback at some point, having to pull out of a hole of 0-2, that's going to be tough. We've seen it before. I don't think we were 0-2, but we have seen Roethlisberger take over early in his career when he was a rookie and won 14 games that year. So anything's possible, but I'm just looking at it week to week, man. I just like to hopefully the team can at least stay together and, at least maybe do an 8-8 or something like that. But it is what it is. But like Smitty said, man, quarterbacks are going down left and right. I don't know how this thing is going to end. It's looking like the Patriots and the Chiefs right now in the AFC, but it's a long way to go. Long way to go. But I won't bore you guys too much tonight with that. What we definitely want to do is jump into these topics, man, because, again, we got started a little late. Y'all know we have to be done by 10. So, Smitty, I guess we can roll right into it, man. Since we were kind of talking about that, you're about to go that direction anyway. We could definitely talk about Madden now, and, definitely you could tie in, the things that we're seeing happening in the real NFL. How would people feel if that actually did happen in Madden? But what are your overall thoughts at the moment as far as with all the title updates? There was one today. What's your thoughts about Madden gameplay, where we are right now up to this point? and what you may be expecting throughout the duration of the cycle, and anything else, Madden 20 relative at this point.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, gotta get. Well, hold on. This is the first thing. Could you guys please smash that like button and share this thing, man? I see 38 people are watching, and there's only 4 likes right now. So if y'all could smash that like button and support, we would vastly appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Most definitely, though. Thank you for that. But what as far as the game, first the shout out. Gotta shout out my man Neo, his sliders.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm playing with those. I haven't played a ton of Madden. I've been busy. I've been away from the console. So I'm just getting back to it last night. So I can't truly say that, yo, man, let me tell you. But before that, when I played some, his sliders, my man, I'm using TFG. Shout out to him, the football guy. His rosters, him and some people worked on some rosters, so as well as draft classes. So I'm using his rosters as well. I haven't even started my franchise yet because, as we all know, you start your franchise and they do these updates right now. Everything's not coming through. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't started it yet, but I'm about to start it. I'm just going to just forget it and just start it up. But I played a good amount of Play Now games and practicing and playing it. I like what they're doing, especially with the zone defensive reactions. I'm glad they tuned that to some extent. There still is a lot more work that we all know that. There's a lot more work that they need to do with the zone play in general, in terms of it looking a lot more natural with the way players react to what's going on in front of them instead of reacting so mechanically. And I mean, just to elaborate on that, you guys know how we get down with it, how we talk about it. Basically, receiver crosses their path, they cover them to a certain extent. As soon as they leave with the quote-unquote invisible circle, so to speak, they just let them go, and then they return back to a neutral spot and just stand there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want to see players, okay, is there a defender in the flat? Yes. If they're in the flat, all right, I'm going to put myself between that flat receiver and the receiver going to the next level between myself and the safety. You know what I mean? Depending upon the formation. Is the action going on the left-hand side of the field? Oh, I'm on the far right-hand side. Okay, I'm going to move towards the middle hash. You see what I'm saying? Like, we need to see players move logically based upon what's going on. We're not saying busted plays all over the place and dudes just ripping and running all over the field. We're saying that we need to see players. There needs to be a principle of logic within these plays that if this player moves over this direction, you're going to logically position yourself where the action is going on or where the action can potentially happen. That's the key thing that we're talking about. No, that's what I'm talking about. NFL 2K5 did a good job with that, considering how player movement was in that game, but it still did a good job of it. And Backbreaker, those are the two games still to this day that have done it the best. Because Backbreaker, while they had their zone coverages, it evolved to man in their game, no matter what you call. So you can call cover two, cover two hard flat zone defense basically, and you'll still see those corners, those edge corners that are playing the flat. You'll see them up in the secondary, deep into the secondary when the play is over and the ball wasn't thrown their direction. Why? Because the receivers move. They just don't stand there and say, well, we're just going to stay here and stay in the flat forever because that's our assignment and that's it. Like, no, they move according to what action's happening. They still hold the integrity of their zone, but they move and break down according to how the action is flowing within what they're doing defensively versus what the offense is giving them. That's the kind of stuff that we need to see happen with Madden. You see what I'm saying? We don't have that necessarily right now. Franchise mode. Excuse me. As far as gameplay, I like the passing. Does the passing need to be better? Yes. 2K still has much better passing with the pass placement in terms of where you could place that ball. It's better in Madden. The trajectories are better in Madden. I get linebackers not being able to jump as high and all that, but it's as if the game is programmed to keep the linebackers more grounded versus giving us legitimate trajectories.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like you play APF, you got receivers and linebackers that leap and soar and all that, but you could still sail the ball over them. And it's it's not some super high touch lob pass that you're throwing. It's like a legitimate, like a moderate speed, mid-level bullet that, yes, your receiver is going to have to lay out for it, and he's going to have to sell out for it, or he's going to have to jump, but it's put high enough where they can get to it over said defender. Madden doesn't have it like that. You see what I'm saying? Madden has instances where that can happen, but, and that's the other thing, once again, the two-man animation stuff, that tethering going on, a game of inches, and you have all this two-man tethering. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So, we've crossed these bridges, so it's like, do I have fun playing this? Yes. Do I enjoy playing the game? Yes. Am I disappointed though? I won't say disappointed, but does it leave a lot to be desired? Yes, because when I play every other sports game, whether I'm a casual fan or a hardcore fan of it, the gameplay is so much cleaner. Playing the FIFA demo, so much cleaner. Playing the PES demo, so much cleaner. I got NHL 20 on EA Access. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Just the game's ridiculous. So it's like, and then NBA 2K, come on, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game is ridiculous. So it's like, I want to see, like, Madden needs to step up, and we need to see them keep stepping it up more and more and more. It's got to step up. And then, like I was saying with the whole franchise thing, and I understand they're trying to build. I understand that they're building something, and I fully understood the article back in April that Mike Young interview on Game Informer. I get it. I didn't pull from that, that means everything's going to be done this year with franchise mode. It's going to be phenomenal. Nah, it wasn't. I didn't feel that way. But I still feel like we need to see Madden do drops when it comes to development in franchise mode. We need to see the mode progress with drops. This year, boom, we did this. Boom, we did that. Like, it's not going to be everything in one shot, but it's got to give that confidence that, okay, you know what? All right, I see what y'all doing. It's not fully there, but I see what you guys are doing. And this is some good stuff. Like what NHL did. Over the past 3 years, look what they've done with their franchise mode. They hit you with drops. They just slamming it on the table. Bang, this is what we did this year. Boom, this is what we got last year. Bang, look what we got this year, you guys. Along with the gameplay stuff. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference right there. Madden, it feels like drops in the bucket. It's like, here's a little drip. Okay, we worked on some salaries and stuff for you. Here's another drip. We have one ability covered up until you do X amount of snaps. You see what I'm saying? Drip, here's another drip. Oh, we got the scenario engine, but you don't have scenarios for an owner. Only if you're a player or a coach. What? So, I don't understand. Like, you don't feel there isn't anything going on that makes you feel truly immersed in the game. You see what I'm saying? And that's where Gameplay comes in along with giving us immersive features like that make us care about what's going on the field. Throw some adversity into the pot that makes us care during the course of games. You see what I'm saying? Let alone off the field when the game's over. That's the kind of stuff that we need to have in the franchise mode. Because remember, like I said, real world NFL, look, so much action packed, so many action packed things have happened. And it's only been 2 weeks. So much action has went on. I'm pretty sure when Sim listens to the local radio, just like I do, I hear about transactions all the times that the Lions do. Oh, they chose to waive this player, bring on that player, and I'm always like, why? Why they cut him? Why they cut C.J. Anderson? Oh, they cut this guy and brought on that guy. They cut what was that quarterback? The brother they had a few weeks ago. I can't think of my man's name right now, but they cut him. They cut him so they could get another quarterback from the Bengals. You see what I'm saying? And he looked good in the preseason, and that's why I was like, why we cut him? He's a backup quarterback. It's like, why we get rid of him? Cut this guy to get that guy. It's like these are the things coaches do. Does this stuff happen in Madden? No. Do you see people just making cuts just because? And I'm saying outside of preseason, during the course of the season, when the team is clearly already set, you see dudes just making cuts just because, oh, we're going to waive him and sign this guy. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like that, you don't have the Josh Johnson. There you go. Thank you. That's who it was. Josh Johnson. Thanks. And it's like who's here that we should give a care about? Like what should I give a care about within the franchise mode outside of my team? There isn't really anything to care about like that. There's nothing to make me feel concerned. You see, and that's the problem. It's like you play the mode, it feels like you're just progressively going through motions. There's no real stakes involved. And we're gonna get to that, but like that's just when it comes to Madden, that's just where I feel like it's making the right progressive steps. Don't get me wrong. It's making the right steps, but it's not nearly enough to say, all right, you know what? I'm pleased with the progression. Now, just get if you double up on what you did this year and you keep doing that every year, I'll be happy. Like I can't say that yet. If that now, let them take what they do this year in franchise mode and core gameplay, and they take it up to a whole nother level. Like let's say you get that zone play moving right. You make the gameplay more organic. You get rid of the wideout DB interactions, the static two-man anthems. You broaden the horizons with the passing mechanics. You give us some real meat and potatoes depth in franchise mode. Oh, now we talking. Well, I'm not gonna say yo the game's perfect, but I'm like, hey yo, the progression they made though, yo, okay, I can mess with you now. Now we talking. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Like you got to give me that so I could be confident in what you got and stay strong on that. Don't fold to how consumer. Oh, this is tough. Nope, leave it alone. Leave the stuff in there. Let the challenge be there. Make the game tough in that regard, and that's why I can appreciate them not touching the trenches still to this point. I greatly appreciate them not doing that. They ain't conforming to nobody. They ain't folding nothing, and they just left it in there. So I appreciate that. But I'll throw it to Sim, man. Oh, Sim, they're saying they can't hear us.
Oh, sorry guys. It was
Hey, can
muted.
you?
They can hear me now. I have my mic
Okay.
muted.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Sorry guys. All right, well, what I was saying, let me recap really quick. I basically said, Brett Lee, I know you're listening. We're going to bring you on before we get out of here with the Madden segment and go to the 2K segment. I don't have a whole lot more to say, and I was just letting you guys know that I echo what Smitty said. The game is definitely not where we want it to be. You guys know that by now. I don't think we need to keep beating the dead horse. It's the same reason why you don't see so many videos coming from me. You know, there's other YouTube guys that do that for you if that's what floats your boat. It's pointless at this point because, you know, to be honest, I borrowed a page out of Kia's book. You know, Kia will address something, put it out there, and it's just out there. You know, so I'll do it from time to time. You'll see me peek my head in and do a video here, do a video there. A lot of times I'm still talking to the devs in the background. But to me, it's kind of pointless to keep going over the same things. You guys know by now what Smitty and I and the rest of you guys want in Madden. We'll say it from time to time, but it's like, y'all already know what it is. Can I have fun with the game? Absolutely. You know, I'm in a 32-man league. I'm having a good time in the league. I'm currently 5-1. You know, even though I didn't get a chance to play all 6 of those games, unfortunately, 2 games were simmed, so I'm officially 3-1 versus users. I've won 3 games, lost a game, and then the other 2 came via sim. I hate that. I hate not playing the games, but, you know, I'm doing pretty good. In this last game I just played, I was down 21-7 at the half and won the game 24-21. Pull the rabbit out my, you know what. And I'm having a good time. Like, it's the game is fun when you play against the right people. You know what I mean? It's fun. You can have fun with it. The game is not completely garbage, in my opinion. It's just it needs to fix the things like Smitty said. They need to improve the way the players just react. You know, my biggest pet peeve is it just seems like there's times where one or two things happen. The 2-man animation kicks in and it basically nullifies everybody else. It's like everybody else in spaces because, you know, they can't do anything. And they just sit there. And that's when you see those dumb moments of the guy just watching the ball come because he's watching this 2-man animation. That's number one. And number two, like Smitty always says, the word is diagnose. We don't see a lot of guys diagnosing what's happening on the field. I just want to see the AI get buffered to that point where if, and this is very simple coverage, you're running a cover 2, right? And let's just say there's trips on one side and then maybe the tight end is line in line on the other side. And the corner in this instance should be able to read what's happening. If there's nobody in the flat, I just want to see him do something else. I just don't want to see him covering the flat because that's his assignment. And that's where Madden lacks, is that AI piece is not always there. And I know Kia could agree to this. Sometimes it works. You've seen Kia's videos. There's some coverages and some scenarios and some checks that actually work. And it plays out pretty well. So it's almost like the AI and or coverage principles are incomplete. And that's a problem. So they just have to keep focusing on general AI and player interaction. If they could just get over those hurdles in full, I don't think we're having this conversation. We're still talking about the lack of depth, absolutely. But I'm just talking about on the field. If you be open and honest with yourselves, Madden is not that far away. They just have to address those elements. That's it. That's all they got to do. And then, you know, of course, continue to work on other stuff, the player move and all that. But you guys know what I'm saying. As far as the missing piece. Get the AI playing the way it's supposed to the level of these other games. Get your player interaction, 1-to-1, more organic, to the level of these other games. Then you got something. Then we can start tweaking. And like Smitty said, you know, let's revisit the passing system. Because the truth be told, I think all of these foundation things have to get in the game first before they start, you know, stripping down and recoding, because again, I told you guys, I've heard this from devs before. There's certain things in this game that even they know has to be stripped down from the ground and built back up. I'm not going to divulge what it is, but I'm just saying, even they know that. So they got to start making that leap. That leap of faith has to happen with Madden. Like, you know, like we said, it's getting better. We're not going to sit here and act like it's not getting better. But they just got to take that leap of faith, man. That's just what it is, man. And I'm going to go ahead and add Brett on the call here. Let me get him in here, man. But anything else, Smitty? You know, was there anything else, anything I didn't cover? That, you know, you pretty much covered it too, but that's about it, man. I mean, I don't really think there's anything else I could say outside of the, you know, the depth piece and all of that.
Yeah, that's basically it. You know, I mean, I know, like I said, I have about CFM that I do want to bring up, but I know we got Brett coming on. So he can his piece. Wanting to see what he got.
Yeah, Brett, so if you're listening, go ahead and pick up, man. It should be dialing you right now. I'm pretty sure he feels pretty good about his football team, the Cowboys. Pretty sure he feels good about them right now. More than I can say.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
I do.
I'm gonna be honest. I hate to say it, but people always say it's a Steeler Cowboy rivalry. Yeah, I don't really look at it like that. Yeah, we always, we met in the Super Bowl and stuff like that, and we both chasing the rings. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Even as a Steeler fan, I gotta say this: the Cowboys. I'm gonna say it right now before I throw it to Brett. That makeup of that team right now, they are a Super Bowl caliber team. Most people might disagree with that, but I'm telling you, they got the defensive formula. They got just enough pieces. They got the attitude. They got the moxie. They'll punch you in the mouth on defense. They got Zeke, who's only going to get better when he gets his legs under him. And now you got Dak out here looking like he a passing quarterback. What's up with that? The only thing that sucks for y'all, though, is that this Gallup went down. I like Gallup. That dude is a rising star, man. But
yeah.
Keep an eye on them Cowboys in the NFC. That's all I'm going to say. What's up, Brett? What you got for us, man?
What's going on, man? Appreciate the shout out for my boys, man. I know it's hard to say that, but hey, I appreciate it, man. And I'm with you too, man. I don't have no beef with the Steelers at all. Even though you guys got us 2-1 in the Super Bowl matchups, but if it wasn't for my boys, I probably would be a Steelers fan, to be honest with you. I really would. I really would. I just like the organization. I think they're class act. What's going on, Smitty?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Not much, man. I hope everybody been well. It's been an eventful little couple months playing this game. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's without a doubt. But yeah, man. I'm glad I didn't get on here to talk right when it came out, because I wanted to give some time to really look at it and really dissect what's going on. And one of the things that I think we've talked about in the past is that what we worried was patches. The more patches that come out at times, the more it can damage the game. Because I think I've said this before too, is that when you're fixing something, you're also breaking something. Mm-hmm. And I kind of seen some of that happen, because I really enjoyed it. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it now. I'm still enjoying it. But when it first came out, I was really enjoying it. But since these patches came out, I'm seeing things as like, okay, it's still got some – the game, like you said, it has a lot of potential. It just needs to refine itself. That's the best way to put it. In every aspect, whether it's gameplay, franchise mode, everything else that the game needs. It just needs to refine itself. I just ask that for everybody that's listening and everybody that likes to speak on forums or whoever, we can't wait until January or February to talk about that. The time is now. If we want to be heard, we need to be heard now, because the fact that you got to understand the cycle of them building this game. They practically are building 21 right now. They're taking ideas. So with that being said, it needs to be a voice that constantly be in their ear about things that we really feel strongly about getting fixed. Of course, with us, I know we always are talking about franchise. So And that's something that we just hope and pray that eventually they'll finally get it. But some of the gameplay modes, my biggest pet peeve right now is no huddle. And no huddle is pretty much a farce to me.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. I wrote up on it the other day on the forum, and I got some responses. One of the things I said was, it's a clear, distinct disadvantage for defense. And one of the responses was like, well, it's like that in real life. You know what? You're right. It is like that in real life. That's why they call it. But they still have a chance to set up. You don't get a chance to set up anything right there. I can run no huddle throughout the whole game, and there's nothing no person can do. And it should never be like that. I mean, it should be a checks and balance with that. Like, if you're going to run no huddle, by the time I get to if I start at 20, by the time I get to the other 40, my guys should be gassed.
Right.
Players should be successful with the injuries. A lot of other mistakes should be performed with that. And that's not happening. It's like, it's just, it's back in the Genesis days when they first brought out the no huddle. Players could just go down the field the whole time. So it's just something that I think I understood what they were doing, but also I have a concern as it's something that you're hiding. Because EA is notorious of saying they put something in there just to hide the issue that they have. And I'm hoping that's not the case, but I wouldn't doubt if they did do that. But I'm having fun with it. I'm want to reiterate that I am having fun with the game. I'm like you. We're just in our third week in our franchise. Because with these new patches, it's not fixing the franchise, and that's kind of frustrating. But hopefully they'll get that fixed in the next couple of bugs or next couple of patches they come out with, and we'll be able to implement some of the things that needs to be fixed. And just wait and see. I'm hoping to hear about the PS5 sometime next year, and when that, hopefully the ideas we have will go into the new generation on a bang. Because the last time they came out the gates and with a great franchise hasn't been since PS2.
Yeah.
That's the last time they came out the gates on a brand new system and the franchise was matched it. And I'm hoping that eventually they will get everything together.
The funny thing about Madden, man, and let me make sure I'm not muted again. No, there we go.
Yeah.
Funny thing about Madden, and I know, I'll probably hit a backlash from this comment here. People listen, but man, y'all know who I was. I was who I was when I got here, so I'm gonna always be the same guy, and I'm never gonna keep my mouth closed. I'm gonna ask questions when questions need to be asked. What I can't understand about Madden, and Smitty mentioned this probably a few months or so ago, where he said, he was told by, somebody there, and I believe it was somebody, well, I know for sure it was somebody in upper management, we won't say any names, but they kind of told Smitty that, it's certain things that they can't do because of the hardware and this generation and this, that, and the third. But see, I always challenge that. I always challenge that because I want to ask a question that all of us, I'm even asking myself this. What is it that Madden has in the game that is taking up so much space that they can't do all these other things? I don't see it. Look at the depth that 2K has in all of the modes. So you can't even say, because the first thing people are going to say, well, MUT. No. MUT don't take up that much space.
Right.
All these games got an ultimate team. My team is as robust as MUT. And even more.
Yep.
You got my league, you got my GM, you got they got modes in 2K that I didn't even know existed.
Yep.
Even within the franchise. Do you know how much stuff you can do in franchise just with the team? You can scrimmage. It's all kinds of stuff that a lot of people, they got domination in 2K. Come on, man.
Exactly.
So what is it? I want to know, what is it in the Madden, what is it in the infrastructure is keeping you from going further? I just don't believe that statement. I don't know if that's a corporate answer or I don't believe that. And that's why I can't give them this pass. And, I know you're not saying it, Smitty's not saying it, but I get people all the time telling me, no, man, they ain't going to be able to, they got to wait until they go to the next console. No. Why Madden? None of these other sports games have the problem. Why are we allowing them to tell us, oh, we can't do it on this console, this generation? I call BS on that, man. I'm sorry.
I do too. And the reason why that point's so valid is because if you remember when the last one on PlayStation 1 into PlayStation 2, that franchise had everything in there. It was a little bit better than the PS2 because that was only because the PS2 just got started, but it had everything in there. So it's no excuse, and especially when like you said, you look at 2K, you look at the show, you look at their own brand in hockey. It's just, how can you have an NHL with a deep franchise mode like that, and you won't even put it in your bread and butter, that one of the founding fathers of franchise mode games in sports, you won't even put it in that. It makes no sense at all. And there's no excuse for it, because it's no way you can sit there and tell me that mode is not the bread and butter of getting people in there. I mean, NBA 2K still got a great fan base, but they bread and butter is still franchise. No matter what, they don't lose that focus. And I know some of the criticism that they've gotten is the microtransactions that they have in there now, but people are still playing that game. They have not stopped playing that game, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense for them to be so lackadaisical on bringing life to this mode. I mean, one of the biggest things I saw, I forgot all about this. The NFL 2K had the VIP system. In fact, they brought it back in the NBA 2K, where basically it copies all your data of how you play and how anybody else play, and you can practice against that and get prepared for it. Mm-hmm. See, those are ideas you can put that in the franchise mode. That brings it to life right there. That's the stuff that we need.
Dopest feature ever.
Yes. Yeah, so you can learn from yourself. Like, oh, I got to stop doing this, or I got to stop doing that. Oh, this is how this guy played. This is how that guy played. Why don't they? You can't say that the hardware doesn't have that. The hardware is way better than it was back then. So you can't say that no more. I don't know if it's just if it's a higher us, which we probably know it is, but still, they got to understand that the well is getting dry. With these minimum ideas, they got to start filling it back up.
Yeah, man. And I wanted to, I'll throw it to Smitty here in just a second, but just wanted to chime in on the chat. Some of you guys are asking, how I've been. I haven't streamed in a long time. I've been good. I just haven't done any game streams in a while because I just haven't been able to find the right time to fit it in the schedule. I've been busy doing the Steelers stuff. I stream that twice a week. But I think what I'm going to start doing, guys, is we have to stream all of our away games in our league. So it's always a stream running. I think what I'm going to try to start doing is streaming those on my main channel. So, that could, take the place of being a stream. The only reason why I hadn't done it, because to be honest, I'm being a little more focused and it's hard to interact with people and you playing the league game, but we'll see. I can't make any promises, but I'll try to get back to streaming soon, especially, whenever I get 2K, because those games are long, and I don't get a lot of viewership from 2K games, so maybe when I play my league, I'll stream those games. We'll see. I'll try to get back into it. And I do see Official is saying that 2K is still regressing in some aspects, though, and I know Smitty is going to hit on that. So before you do that, Smitty, anything else you want to chime in on, man, about Madden, what I said or anything Brett said?
The main thing. I'll add this in there. I think this. I'll ask Brett in this regard too. Like, I would like to see what you think about it. Like what I was saying to Sim before the show and everything is, look at what's transpired in the NFL these first 2 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. Look at Jalen Ramsey requesting a trade and everything, and he's playing.
Exactly.
It's only 2 weeks into the season. 2 weeks in.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You saw what happened with the Dolphins. They got blasted in one game. 9 dudes said they won out. Would you be okay?
So happy to take one of them. Thank you, Minka. Appreciate you, buddy.
But if that was happening in franchise mode, would you be okay with that? Happening if you were playing on or offline, especially if you was online. would you be okay with something like that happening after
Yes.
2 weeks in the old season?
And you're saying with the same results where they're losing? Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
like if you play in your game, let's say you get blew out, right? You have a blowout loss. And now this is what happens. Like, look, the Dolphins in real life, their morale is in the toilet. It's not about to come back up anytime soon, right? Have the same thing happen in the game. Your team confidence goes down with virtually all of your key players. The team, I mean, you know, they don't have chemistry in the game, but, you know, like, let's say if you had chemistry in the game and your team chemistry just went down the toilet because, you basically lost your locker room. So your head coach ain't got the locker room. The prisoners are running the asylum, basically. Would you, as an end user, be okay with that? Now, I know you be okay, but I'm saying, I shouldn't say the question as far as you personally, but on the whole, would people really be okay with that happening in Madden? Oh, you got to go the whole season, and your team basically is going to be in the dumps. I mean, every game is going to be a struggle, regardless of how good of a user you are. Every game is going to be a struggle by default.
That could be a tough sell, but like I'm in the league right now with my good friend. My good friend Leon is the commissioner, and this is why this is going to feed into your point. He's a 49er fan, and he usually takes the 49ers or Vikings, but he took the Dolphins because he knew he couldn't get a user to take the Dolphins because he knew that the Dolphins was going to be weak, and it doesn't have nowhere a quarter of the things that you're saying that's in the game, but he took it because nobody wanted to play the Dolphins. So yeah, that probably would be a hard sell, but he's taking it as that's the challenge. Right. I'm gonna play these franchises for the next couple of years and see how I progress my team and make the best out of it. So it's a chance to take with that. Yes, it's a chance to take with that, but that's the thing. Like look at 2K or MLB The Show. Look at the worst teams in the game. You know, would you? They still have that option in the game. They still have that where somebody's gonna probably jump in there and play it. They're gonna say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take the worst team and build them up. If we're gonna play this franchise mode as long as we're supposed to play it, I want to test myself. I want to see if I could bring a team from ground up and make the best out of it. Why not? What else I got to lose? You know, so it's kind of like a catch-22 situation, but it has to have something better than what they got right now. Because, for example, with that bringing a team, that means that you need to have a coaching staff that you can hire to influence the way the players get developed. Different ways of practice mode to make the players develop. You know, just have more added features in the franchise mode to make it better so the team can develop. If you have it by what we got right now, nobody's going to want to do that. Nobody's going to want to play again. And eventually, you know, you got some guys that got such good stick skills that they probably could run with that weak team and make them better and at a faster rate than it would, you know, from a simulator. You know, because I don't mean to take up your time, you guys. This is my main issue I've had with the game. We have simulation, you have competitive mode. The problem I have with that is this: 2K doesn't have simulation and competitive mode. It's combined. It's about your stick skill, but it's also the simulation of the aspect of the player of how that player plays, and you mesh that together. That's one of the issues I have. Make it where, do you know how to play the game of football? Not do I know how to play the game of football or the video game of football? That's where we got to get off of what they're trying to do with this game. They're trying to make something more than what it is. In my opinion, that's just all. That's from my opinion from that direction.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That is a problem. Go ahead,
Smitty. That's the thing about it, because that's the problem when you look at NBA 2K and you look at all the stuff that's happened. I mean, you know, you may have not paid attention to it at all, but a lot of people complain about the My Career, and they're complaining because they actually introduced skill gap. They actually made it so you can hit jump shots and stuff. People want to be able to play like NBA Jam, basically. They want to be able to bust jump shots in everybody's face all the time. They want to be able to create ultra unrealistic players and be able to shoot and do everything, get green releases every single release they take all the time. That's not basketball, right? And 2K made it so that it's like, it doesn't matter what build you have. Like, you got people creating these YouTube videos saying this is the God build and all that. It doesn't matter because they make the stick skill more intricate now. So it's like, you have to know what you're doing. You can have the best build in the world, but you have to know how to play. There isn't a gimme tactic that, if I just get this and get this animation, I'm perfect now. It's not working like that this year. And people were complaining in droves because they want to be able to do that. And unfortunately, 2K, to a degree, they conformed. They fell into their hand. And that's the thing with Madden. Like, when we're talking about this intricate football stuff and we're saying, man, we want this franchise, and we want the depth, and we want this. And like I was saying to Sim beforehand, you had dudes losing their marbles off of Aaron Rodgers' quarterback ability. His X factor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I gotta use in my secondary. If you fretting off of that, you seriously think you would handle that Miami Dolphins situation if that happened with your team in the franchise? Then that's why I'm looking like, because you have a lot of people that'll say, man, you see all this happening in the NFL, that need to be in Madden. Let them start doing it. Man, Clint, my confidence. What happened? Everybody wants to leave. Oh, you got a patch. No, that's not. That's what will happen. And it's gonna be them same people that's sitting up here, and it'll be dudes that'll listen to this show too, and they'll be up. Yeah, man, it needs to be that tough. And I guarantee you, let that be their team. Let them be in that on or offline league or whatever, and they have it that tough. I guarantee they are gonna lose their marbles and be, oh man, this ain't right. Okay, well, that's what happens in the NFL though, right? Okay, now it's happening to you. You wanted stakes, right? You got stakes now. You wanted things to be more involved. Well, guess what? Everything is not gonna glitter gold for you all the time, and that's just it. That's how it used to be back on the PS2 days. You know what I'm saying? Everything that glittered was not gold. You know what I'm saying? So it was like you had because you had the player not tendencies, but they had the traits as far as what would get them to stay, what would make them happy or not. I had years where I could win the Super Bowl and have winning records, and they still wanted to leave. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can't please everybody, and that's the thing. Like it needs to, like you said, PS2 Gen 2 basically was the last time it was on point. It needs to be took up multiple levels. I mean, dude, you got my GM in 2K where dudes literally will go to a team because they ain't got to pay sales tax. I mean, they don't have to. Yeah, their money's not taxed. Oh, that's the decision now in 2K20. Come on, dog. You see what I'm saying? But Madden, oh well, you could look at one ability after so many snaps. Well, we have some storyline narratives, but they're more drops in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? Well, we tweaked the salaries and stuff for you, and and we got some abilities in there and everything. So it's like the novelty, and that's what I said to Sim. Excuse me. What 2K gives us, what NHL? Just look at NHL. The past 3 years of NHL franchise, they've been hitting. Their franchise mode was lacking. A few years back, they came out hitting. You know what I'm saying? We bang. It's not all there, but we're gonna hit y'all with this. Last year, bang, we're gonna hit you with this Fog of War. This year, bang, we're gonna hit y'all with this now. You know what I mean? Like they just they're giving you these hits. Madden is giving us these drops. These cats are giving hits, and I'm like, they're hits of confidence though. That it's like. Yeah. Okay, I see what you do. Oh, if they stay this track though, okay, I could mess with you then. That's what Madden needs to do. It needs you got to have something that's going to hit, not from a blog interview with somebody else what your agenda is, but what you actually deliver upon and show us. When we did our show back in the summertime, when they did the playbook on franchise, we was waiting for another one. You see what I'm saying? Like, we thought there was going to be more. Like, oh, okay, well, this got to be just the beginning. I'm looking forward to the rest of it. And no, that was it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, we need to have more going on in this franchise mode. And I know they're not going to, we all know it's not going to happen in one shot, but each shot that you deliver, it needs to be a nice, healthy dose of, okay, like the scenario engine. Let's say if that was the big thing you had, give us a healthy dose of that. If I'm an owner, I got all kinds of scenarios that just got me immersed. Like, dang, okay, like this isn't everything, but okay, this is good. You know what I'm saying? As a player, as a coach, give us that story, give us that depth. And I mean, I know they're going to do stuff during the course of the year because it's a continuous development thing, which is a great thing. That's great. It's about time it got there, but I'm glad for that. But like as an intro out the gate, there needed to be a lot more. And it wasn't. And I know it was the same thing with Ultimate Team. Ultimate Team didn't have it all, even though that was continuous development. I know it took them time to get it, but still, we need to see a lot more with franchise mode. It's the most played mode in the game, and that's the crazy thing considering all the money Ultimate Team makes. But franchise mode is the most played mode in Madden. So it's like it needs that catering to it and to get more people playing and get more people involved. So like that's just what they need to do. Like they need to give us a reason. Give me a reason to want to fire up Madden when I see all this news. Like I see all this news and it's like I'm not thinking about playing Madden, right? I could see an NBA commercial and I'm like, man, let me fire up 2K. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like because it has that much going on the court, let alone like what Sim said, off the court. You got practice, you have this, you have that, you have all these things. You could spend hours outside the court managing your team before playing a single game. Like that's the wild part about it. You don't have that with Madden. You know what I'm saying? Madden, I could spend 5 minutes for stuff out with my team and then all right, let's play. And that's what I'm saying. Like we need to have that depth brought back into the fold. Well, I should say depth that we never had because Madden has never been that deep in franchise like that. Not that deep. And it needs to develop to get to be that deep. That's it, man. Too. You know, and I mean, give the challenging factors, but at the same time, give the automation option. 2K does it. If you don't want to do all that intricate stuff, automate.
MLB does it too.
Yeah. So just build it out and give the option. You don't have to do all of it if you don't want to. Automate it and just keep it trucking. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Everybody claims they want simulation until real things happen. Like, and I love that type of challenge. Like, and just for people who are wondering, you know, you haven't seen a franchise video from me in a while, and I'm gonna be honest, you know, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help but start over. You know, at first I was like, I ain't worrying about Antonio Brown, you know, but when I saw everything going on and Ben got hurt and then we traded for Minka, I said, you know what? I'm going to make it challenging. So the next video that I show you guys will be week 3, 0-2. We'll be playing the Niners. There's no Roethlisberger. And that's a challenge. That's going to be fun. Like, to me, that's going to keep it intriguing. And I don't mind that. You know, I don't have my guy on offense now other than Juju and DeCastro. I don't have an X factor now. But I love that kind of stuff. To me, that's simulation. And I don't understand. Well, you know, I'm not going to say I don't understand because some people look at it as just a game, which is fine. But to me, a franchise mode has to be depth rich, feature rich. It has to. There's no other way to replicate or pretend like you play for an NFL team or own a team without having all of the main ingredients. And like Smitty said, man, it's if it wasn't for the 32-man league and it wasn't for just the fun I have creating YouTube videos, I wouldn't be playing Madden like that. I'll pop it in every now and then just to get a little football fix, but then I would be done.
Yeah.
And it's. I hate to say that about the game that I want to play the most. I want to play football.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And what's crazy is we're going to see, I bet you, both of these indie games that are going to have deeper features in franchise. Both Maximum Football and Access Football. You watch.
Shoot. It's no question. I mean, you already know Access has deeper franchise stuff from last year.
Yep.
So they're only going to push that forward. I will say this. Even though the animations are not as intricate with the Maximum Football, I got to give it to them for their physics-based tackling, though.
Oh,
they have it's nice. It's nice. If they had more better quality animations as far as the principal, gameplay on the field, okay. But keep it going.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the key thing.
Don't let it stop.
Yeah, keep it going. Stop. So that's the kind of stuff that's support. That's the stuff we said for the longest time. It's not about them hitting out the gate and hey, the option's there. Guys, jump on it. Don't play Madden. No. That's not realistic. But let that game develop into a realistic option. I mean, support it, but as it continues to go on and develop and become a viable option, then you can look at it and be like, hey, now look, Madden, this game may not be next gen with all the animations and the bells and whistles, but the game on the field, though, is solid. Like, that's it. That's all you can ask for. So it's like Maximum Football looks good at this point. I think that if they come out with the game next year and they're able to pour into the game on the field more, okay, all right. If they can get some principled gameplay, that's the key thing that I'll say, and just say this real quick. It's like my feeling with Live when I talk to some guys about Live. NBA Live is not going to beat 2K in the bells and whistles and trying to be, top dog in that way. But you can make a game that competes if you just focus on replicating the game on the court properly.
Right.
That's the key thing. It's just replicate the game on the court properly, and then the olive branches of the street, of court battles, all that stuff will fall into place because the game on the court is done right. It's the same thing with Access in Maximum. You give us, okay, Madden has its zone coverage issues, right? You get the zone coverage stuff right. Hey, the animations may not be on point, but they doing it right. Now let them get the animations. You see what I'm saying? Like, let them actually get it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, they already got the franchise mode. You see what I'm saying? Like, they have the means to get it. And that's the thing. They've touted all the stuff they're doing in their franchise mode already. And it's like they have the the Canadian football rules, the American football rules, the fields are in there. It's like they have those things in there. They're there. So it's just a matter of when the game comes out, how's it all going to work? You see what I'm saying? So if it works right and it all meshes well, okay, keep on messing around, Madden, and that NFL Shield will literally be what's holding them up.
Yeah.
And that's like what Sim says all the time. I get the camaraderie of playing in a league because it's fun. It's like you're playing a pickup game of basketball with your friends. You have a blast when you're playing with like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get that part. But when you have a game that's like, this game's doing it better, it doesn't have all the the panache of what Madden is, but look what it's got going on. It's like, hey, yo, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying the whole league gonna shift to play maximum football, but I'm just saying though, it's like you have a legit viable option as far as a football game here, and it's good. And Doug Flutie got his name on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's continuing to go to higher heights more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, yeah, you gotta let these cats work. That's it. Like you gotta let these cats work because it makes your team look bad.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You make it look like Clinton and them don't know how to do their job, and it's like they know how to do their job. You've heard us say multiple times. It's not on. We don't blame devs. We know they know how to do it. It's not them. They got to be enabled though to be able to do their job the way they can. Like, I don't know, Sim, if you played the FIFA demo or the PES demo and all that stuff, it's like
not yet.
Play those games. Look at the physics. Look at the player movement. Look at how all that stuff happens in those games. Now, mind you, FIFA is worked on by 3 studios, not 1. They worked on 3. You know what I'm saying? But that game sells 20 plus million copies. You see what I'm saying? Like, Madden, I would love to see Madden get 10. 2K is getting over 10. They sold 12, I think. Well, they said, yeah, they sold 12, I think, last year, if I'm not mistaken. 10 or 12 million. Mm-hmm. It's like, I want to see Madden get up to those levels, but you got to show this game some love to get that. And that's the thing. Like I've said with Sim, I've said it on the show and all that before. Ultimate Team, listen, you'll get your money. You'll get your bread tenfold if you make the game legit to football and you make football happy. Yeah. Think you got Bo Jackson playing like you could have the scrubbiest player on like I got Josh Johnson, right? Quarterback that was cut from the Lions. What if you got Josh Johnson playing the way Josh Johnson actually does play? In comparison to a quarterback like Dan Marino. And you got Dan Marino playing the way Dan Marino actually does. His throwing motion, the velocity, the trajectory of his passes, all that. It's all there. If you have that in your game, that stuff is going to mean so much more. And it brings so much more value to the mode, let alone to the whole game. Oh, dang, the players are playing just like that? Man, let me go ahead and get that. So now you got the general public, you got your Ultimate Team diehards, and then, like we talk about with CFM, give the depth in CFM, bang. Oh, man, you got the core gameplay, you got which is going to get the casuals and the hardcore alike, and then you got the diehard sim people that love this kind of stuff, and the options and everything is all there. They got their playground. It's a playground. That's it. I got a reason to play this game from beginning of the year to you know from August to August. I got a reason to play it. Outside of being in an online league, just all right, let me play this game because I'm in the online league. It's like, man, I can't wait to play the next game because the game is that much fun. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's like you give that fun factor. People won't mind exploring, and that's the whole thing. You'll have people that don't care about MUT at all, and they'll explore it at least dabble in it, and vice versa. Oh, let me see what this franchise mode is about. Oh, let me see what this. Now you got more people using the game, and in turn, that's going to help do nothing but help draw more people in. Because I'll say this last point, making the 2K correlation. Look. You look at NBA 2K, you look at what Madden's doing, okay? You got the Madden tournament. You have some people that are making their living off of Madden, but it's mainly these tournaments, and that's it, right? Some people do their thing off of YouTube, and they're making their money. 2K, NBA 2K has got people living. I mean, folk are living off of NBA 2K. Our brother Shakedown. He's living off of 2K. I mean, that's his main game. That's his main game.
Yeah.
He played other games, so let's not get into it. So he built his legacy off of many other games too, not just 2K. But 2K got him right. You know what I'm saying? You look at Cash.
I thought you said live it. You said
No,
living.
living. Like
Gotcha.
they make that
Yeah, I
money.
thought you said living too. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
No.
That's why I was like, really? What's Shake mad at?
No, I'm saying they're living off of it. Like they're making real good money off of it. They're able to create a good living off of this game. You know what I'm saying? My man, D-Man. I just saw he's the official content creator for Mavs Gaming now. You know what I'm saying? Like the opportunities they get. Ronnie 2K would never be caught anywhere near a celebrity NBA game at All-Star Weekend if he wasn't working there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Same thing with that Rachel girl that used to be on. She was working a segment on 2K TV. It ain't no TV show on Netflix, nothing like that. It's a little TV show segment inside of a video game. And that got her playing at All-Star Weekend. You see what I'm saying? Let alone these content creators and people playing in the 2K leagues, and you have multiple tournaments playing in this game. You got the 2K league, you have a My Team tournament kind of thing they got going on or whatever, where somebody's going to be able to win $250K. You have a Play Now head-to-head tournament that they're talking about they're going to be doing this year, where I think somebody's going to be able to win $150K. Like, that's 3 tournaments alone in one game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, the E-League, a way to get to the E-League. I mean, the 2K League by playing My Player and all that, and playing in the rec and all that. So it's like you have multiple avenues in that alone. Like that game does a ton like that. And the reason why I'm saying all that is because if the gameplay was never that good, none of this would be possible. None of that stuff I said would be possible. None of it.
Yeah.
That's why when you look at Madden could be on that exact same level. And the thing, it's not like Madden ain't getting no money and they ain't doing nothing. They are, but they could be doing so much more if their game was just that much better.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like that's what we're saying. It's like 2K is literally doing what we're saying Madden needs to do. And 2K it's done. Like, people getting paid, people making money, people getting all kinds of, opportunities and everything from that game, from that one game. So it's like, yeah, can Madden do a heck of a lot more? Heck yeah. They can do way more to get their game better. That's a lot that they got to step up, man. They got to step all the way up. So it can't be all about making catering to casuals and not making it sim. No, 2K made their game sim, and look where they're at now. They're selling over 10 million. They were behind Madden in sales back then. These dudes are selling 10 million plus. Madden ain't sold 10 million since what, PS2 days.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, you sell that many more million copies, that's a lot more people you're going to get Ultimate Team in front of, and in turn, that's how you get more revenue. But you got to deliver the quality product, man. That's it, man. So,
Yeah, it's interesting because people always say, even I just saw somebody here in the chat say it's obvious they're not going to make a sim. They don't want to make a sim product. But see, we asking the wrong question. The question needs to be, why? Like, why Madden? And nobody's been able to answer that. People always go to the easy answer. Oh, MUT. Nope. We can't use that excuse. These other games got Ultimate Team.
Yep.
Why is it, if that is the case, that's the choice?
Yeah.
Like, why? I just don't understand. I need somebody in the front office to say, like, literally tell me, look, this is why, blah, 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 blah. Because I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Every other sports game has catered more to simulation, whether that's on the actual field or ice or hardwood, whatever, or if it's just offering sim features in a deep franchise. They've all done it except for Madden NFL football. And like I said, everybody can say what they want about, because it's Ultimate Team. Man, okay, that's fine if you believe that, but that still doesn't answer the question. Why is it because of Ultimate? Excuse me. Why is it because of Ultimate Team? Why is it it's just Madden that suffers that way? I really don't understand it, man. I don't. It makes no sense.
It's frustrating because it seems like they're not willing to give you an answer for it. It's like, we'll just get everybody to keep buying the game. I know you don't like it, but hey, people are gonna be the same suckers. They go there and get it, and including me, and just go ahead and hope for the best, But I think that's why we're saying that with the potential that we see the potential in the game, we just need to refine it more, and it can get there. But how much longer is it going to take? That's the real question. How much longer is it going to be when we finally get what we've been asking for the longest?
Yeah, man. It's funny how Madden always dominates the show, man.
I know, man.
Smitty, we at 9:42, so we running real short. But take it away, man. Sum it up for us. Let us know what has progressed in 2K, what has regressed. Because from what you were saying, there's some people who are thoroughly enjoying it, and there's some people who are upset with some things. So what's going on with 2K20?
I mean, basically with 2K, basically what's going on with 2K is like what I was saying earlier, pretty much. Like like my man Apex, shout out to him. Always dropping videos, I mean, dang near every single day going in on 2K about something not happening right in the game. And the thing is, this is not a shot, but it's kind of like the points he's making, it's kind of like ice skating uphill in this sense, because there are issues that 2K they're never going to be able to get right. Okay? He's talking about like the ball physics, the ball morphing, AI decision making by your teammates, psychic kind of plays being made, things like that. And it's like, I get it, but until 2K gets their games in the line of FIFA or PES, where the ball tangibility is hands down the best, player contact.
Oh, you cut out for a minute, Smitty. Yeah, there you go. You back.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. All right. No, I was saying, well, the ball physics and player physics are hands down the best in both PES and FIFA. If you don't have that kind of fidelity, you're always going to be making those points. Unfortunately, pursuit angles, all that, you're always going to be making those same points because 2K is running off the same engine they've been running on since the beginning. So that's just going to come with the territory. When PES was making their soccer game in 2012, I think, or 2013, they switched their engine. They came out with the Fox engine, and they put their soccer game on the Fox engine. That helped, you know what I'm saying, with them move forward with their franchise. That's kind of like with FIFA using Frostbite, to an extent. But I digress here. This is the main thing. Getting back to just the nitty-gritty with 2K is that, like we say about Madden, you do a title update, you mess with one variable on one side, it messes with something over on the other side. People were mainly complaining about the speed of the game not being fast enough. Players, especially small forwards, they don't move as fast. This doesn't go as quick. Well, everyone's not LeBron James. Everyone's not Kevin Durant. Everyone's not Kyrie Irving. Everybody wants to make the next anomaly. You can't have a ton of anomalies running around a park and running around the rec center.
Right.
So there's no real differential that way. So they ended up speeding the game up some, and it made players look and feel like they're floating on the court.
No.
Yeah.
They And the thing is that they talked about that was taking out the game.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because the game was good. The game was good without that stuff happening in the game. So they sped it up because people complain. Now, this is the wild part, though. First they sped it up, then they slowed it right back down because a lot of people complain, no, you messing with it. So they rolled it back in not a title update, but just did a regular update. And just for you know, Sim, I know you said you're going to check it out on the weekend. You probably got 50 gigs worth of updates beyond the installation that are going to need to be installed because they're trying to fix all those launch issues. And they're still working on them. So like there was an update today that I just had installed while I was on the show. Yeah. There was another 20 gig update that they had to try and fix problems from launch. So they're steadily trying to fix launch problems. But there was that. So they sped the game up. They sped the game up with like the player movement. They sped up some. They made it easier for players to shoot to a degree. It still is a challenge, but they're trying to make it a little bit easier because of people complaining.
Come on, man.
You know, and it's like they keep going away from what they promoted and said, hey guys, skill gap, and now you're gonna have to do this, and you're gonna have to learn, and you're gonna have to be all these things. And it's like you really don't have to be any of these things. And I'm talking about NBA 2K 20. You really don't have to do any of these things because people ultimately want to find the money play. What's the money loophole? The best release, the best this, best that. Put these badges together and you'll be great. But you got to earn it. You have to, like, you can become, like, the cool thing about 2K is that you can become, like, I'm just speaking on my player, you can become a 95 overall, or even you could be a 99 overall player and not have all your badges. You can still, like, you still can grind, or you can get to 95 and have, like, maybe 1 or 2 badges on you. You see what I'm saying? Like, you still got to put the time in. Like, you have to grind that out. And that's another thing, too. People complain about that. Oh, man, you mean I got to put work in to get badges? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, so it's like, if you have that problem, see, this is why when people talk about the loot boxing and all that stuff, they say, oh, it needs to go away so that the companies can focus and be more innovative in making games better. How? How are they? Like, how do you know the game's going to get better? Number one. Number two, how's it going to get better when the end users are complaining when you make the game challenging through innovation? You make it challenging, and then you got to roll it back. Then you got to, well, let's buff this and let's nerf that because so-and-so and such feel a certain way over here. No. Okay, so take away the loot boxing, what's going to happen? What? Are the devs going to stand their ground now? Are companies going to not go to the devs and say fix it or nerf it or dial this back? Are you going to leave it alone? You know what I mean? Like, you have to make it challenging. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally, listen, us, the offline crowd, they could buff the speed up, and we'll do what we can messing with sliders. Maybe we could turn the general game speed down some. And we can augment all kinds of sliders and everything. So that way our experience offline is not messed up like that. But even with using sliders, there are going to be things that you just can't fix or nullify because of the title updates. And that's the part that makes it a bit annoying. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, Sim. I'm not saying that, like, the game's just not playable now. And it's like, oh, man, they completely jacked the game up. It's just, it's upsetting because to a good number of us, the game was just fine. Dudes saying they couldn't shoot, and we were like, the game's just fine. Y'all just don't want to adapt to change. That's it.
The demo was money.
Yeah, it was butter, and that's it. The demo, you can scratch the demo now. So like that ain't a representation of what, not the best representation of what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, game's not busted. I wouldn't say it's a bust by any means, but it's like the integrity of what was there some of that has been pulled out. And I don't like that because they're catering. And I mean, we all know these games get patched, but there are some things that I'm like, I hope didn't get touched. And then they did. And it's like, okay, all right, I get it. You know, I hate this, but that's the thing. And the thing is, Sim, they were nerfing and buffing and doing all that stuff when the demo was out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They was doing all of it then. I'm like, yo, y'all caving to these? You going lollipop already? Like, no, y'all can't do that. Y'all just got started. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game ain't even dropped yet, and y'all already giving in. Like, nah, that ain't right. So that's, you know, like, Like, just think if we was playing the Madden beta after the first day. All right, you know what, guys? We nerfed the pass rush and we buffed blocking, okay? Like, I'm like, what the heck y'all doing? Like, no, y'all better roll that back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, like, don't do no dunk like that because somebody feel a certain way. No way. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I give EA props, because it's like, finally, they're standing their ground on this stuff and they're saying, like, look, we put the gridiron notes out. We've shown y'all why we did things the way we did them, and this is how it works. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, we got mechanics in the game you can use. If you feel a certain way, so be it. You know, but I mean, that's pretty much like the state of 2K. That's where some people are real upset with it. But, I mean, at the same time, can you definitely have an enjoyable game of basketball? Without question. Without question. The game is a ton of fun. Still.
Okay.
It's just disheartening.
I got a couple questions for you, because I don't really get into the 2K until like after football season, because I'm just all mad now. But
gotcha. Yeah.
But so I don't they have speed adjustments? Like, can't you speed up the game?
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you want it to go faster.
Yeah, they got game speed, so you can do that. That's what I'm saying. Offline stuff, just like what I was saying before about Madden, right? I play now, then I want to play Ultimate Team because of the way the core game plays, right? Well, what if they did some stuff in Ultimate Team that the experience ain't the same now? You see what I mean? It's like, oh, dang, that's what you did? But the problem is, what they do in Ultimate Team, the whole game gets. That's the problem. You see what I mean? It's not like they tuned this over here in my career, but my league and all that is left alone. Play Now is not touched. No. Play Now got touched too. Game speed, everything. All of it's the way players move is sped up. That's universal. That's not just for one side. So it's like the best way I can combat it is by going into the settings and adjusting the general game speed and slow it down a little bit. Okay, cool. Okay. So it's like you can try and alleviate it from an offline standpoint, or if you had an online league, let's say, you guys got the settings too, so you can still adjust your game speed how you guys want it. The only problem is that, like I said, they do an update. That movement is going to be there regardless. It's just a matter of how fast or slow it's going to, process as you play, which sucks because it was fine right where it was at launch. Folk just didn't. They just didn't want to adapt. Ultimately.
Now, what about the franchise mode? Have you got any involved with that at all?
I haven't started with that yet because I mainly played my career. I am going to. I already know it's gonna be fire. Like, I mean, I've played some Play Now games. I haven't touched any sliders or nothing like that yet. And I mean, the game is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The game is gorgeous. So I'm not even worried. And see, the cool part is that in the full game, when you go into the 2KU, even if you practice with your My Career player or whatever, you could play on multiple teams. You can play on whatever team you want. It'll just insert you into their starting lineup. But I did some play now, and I mean, man, the way the game plays, it's like it feels, even though it has 2-man animations, and it does have some 2-man animations suction into issues like we see in Madden, but it's not nearly as frequent as it would be in Madden. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it happens, but it's not, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened X amount of times. Like, no, it's not at that rate. For the most part, the animations are going to make sense that do trigger that are too much. So but the game's good. The game's good. 2K put this is like the perfect merger between the extreme looseness of the game that was in 2K18, and then now in 2K20, it's like they tightened it up so you can play defense and offense, but you're not restricted. It's like they struck the balance. 19 was like the pivot point. But 20 is like they give you that looseness, but also you can be a good defender as well, and it all meshes well together. It's good, man. Like I said, you do like Sim, Red Box. Y'all know you say you don't mess with it till the end of the year, but
but no, don't get it wrong. I already bought it.
Okay.
No, I already bought it, and I dabbled a little bit with it because I like to do with it. I'd like to, do the training and learn the moves because there's so many moves. You can't learn them all, but you got to learn.
Yeah,
it's so many, but that's the beauty thing of it, because it keeps becoming like it's like how if you were a basketball player and you want to get better, you got to practice and keep doing things. So it does make that better. It does make that good, that aspect good, and I like the fact of how this is. I hate to go back and forth between them and Madden, but one thing I like about 2K is like a elite player you can tell. And when they get on, one thing I noticed is when they get on fire, but you start, the little thing lights up underneath the player. But as time goes on, you start seeing it start dwindling away, let you know he's cooling off a little bit. And if you call timeout, he's just the bench, he substitute him out, put him back in, he's not on fire. But he can get it back, but you see the difference with it. It doesn't make their attributes better, it just makes their attributes work more. Whereas Madden, one thing I don't like about that whole X factor is sometimes their attributes is just overwhelming. It's like Zeke with my stiff arm is stupid right now. I can stiff arm throughout the whole downfield. I mean, I know they fixed some aspect of it, but sometimes they need to tone it down to make it more or less like when he used it, he used it at the right time. But I shouldn't just dominate the whole game by stiff arming the whole game. So 2K, they get it by keeping the fun in the game as well as the realism more than anybody out of any sports to me. They really got it good, and I'm just glad to hear it because there's been a lot of people complaining about it. It didn't play bad to me. It's played smooth as I played in a very, very, very long time. I haven't played a 2K that's this smooth in a long time, and I think this year I'm gonna have a little bit more play than I have.
Yep, that is my franchise mode of choice, so I'm sure I will be on it. Perfect time, man. It is 10 o'clock, guys, so y'all know what that means. We got to get out of here, but yeah, man, it's one of those things. It sucks. For us football fans, we just find time to play other things, man. Play Madden in your spare time. Don't consume it so much because it will drive you crazy. We all know the state of the game right now. We can only hope that they'll continue to improve it. I hear there's going to be more and more updates coming, even updates to improve the zones and all of that. So we shall see. But other than that, man, play other games. Enjoy yourself elsewhere. It just is what it is. But definitely, guys, we appreciate everybody coming out. We appreciate Brett coming on, chopping it up with us. Got to get out of here, man. Oh, yeah, definitely. Anytime, man. And,
man.
Yeah, guys, we will definitely catch you guys on the next show. Anything you want to say real quick, Smitty, before we roll out?
Just that, appreciate everybody coming through, hanging out here with us. Like always, we'll definitely be back on next week. So there will be a lot more to speak of. And yo, if you guys got topics, by all means, let us know something.
Yes,
If there's
please.
some stuff you want to talk about or whatever, let us know. Hit us up on Twitter, and we'll definitely, bring it to the light here on the show. So
Absolutely, man. So that's going to do it, guys. I hope your football team gets a win, unless you are a Niners fan. Lord, I hope I'm not saying 0-3 next week. But we got a tough haul, man. It is what it is. Just about seeing what this team is going to do. But other than that, enjoy the rest of this game. This Winshew guy, whoever this is, man, has put up 14 points for 2 touchdowns. Tennessee Titans are looking really crazy against the Jags tonight. But enjoy the rest of the game. Have a great weekend. Be safe. God bless. Good night. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. Catch y'all next week. Peace.
peace.